The Minnesota Media Archive is brought to you by North Metro TV. Your support helps make the archive possible. Please consider a one-time donation.
Run demo. Insert tape. Loading. Playing. Transferring video. Recording. Disc ready. Transfer your videotapes to DVD and digital at North Metro TV. $12 an hour for tapes. $30 an hour for film. Call 763-231-2803.
Everyone, and welcome to Centennial High School. The playoffs have begun. Kent and Kip here field side for this quarterfinal in Section 4, 5A. It's the number 4 seed Centennial taking on the number 5 seed Roseville. These two teams don't know what to expect of each other. They don't have similar schedules, and Roseville a little bit unpredictable. Their main weapon is Mike Madison. He's a running back, 676 yards and 7 touchdowns. The quarterback for Roseville, R.J. Wilkins, and his go-to guy is Rupert Bowerman. Right now, Roseville at 3-5 overall. It's a little bit deceiving. They beat White Lake earlier on in the year, 14-7. White Lake near the top of that conference, along with Stillwater, who is 10th in state right now. But they were blanked in the last 2 games by Woodbury and Moundsview, so they have not scored a single point in the last 2 games. Centennial not sure what to expect, but this is a very scary Roseville team. So we're going to come right back. We're going to give you starters and another pregame closer look at the matchup. You're watching Section 4 5A football on North Metro 15. We'll be right back. For all your updates and highlights on your local teams, Blaine, Spring Park, and Centennial, tune in to Sports 10. It's a big hit. Oh!
Sports 10, Thursday nights at 7 p.m. on North Metro 15. Step inside the den.
My grandma looks better than you doing push-ups, and she's 85 years old!
For more info, go to operationgraduation.com.
If you're not helping after-school programs, you're really helping to take them away.
That wasn't very nice.
After-school programs, wouldn't you rather be helping?
428F6, polyp on the premises.
Good 20, we're on it. Let's roll.
In there.
Yeah, we'll handle this, man. What? We're ready to be very civil about this.
You never know when a polyp is going to show up. Get the polyp early and stop colon cancer before it even starts. Just get a test from your doctor. Get the test, get the polyp.
Nice surgeon's touch.
Get the cure.
Hello everyone, welcome to Centennial High School. It is the Section 4 Class 5A quarterfinal. It is actually Roseville Raiders at 3-5 versus Cenntenial Cougars at 4-4. How you doing, everyone? Kent and Kip alongside Adam Engel to bring you tonight's action. This should prove to be a good contest, Adam.
Yes, it should, Kenton.
He's as similar as these teams are. They're extremely different. Their schedules are different, and they're both fairly unpredictable. Centennial has progressed throughout the year and have gotten better. Roseville, after knocking off a good Wiper Lake team and a good Forest Lake team, they ended the year with 2 losses where they got blanked in both games against Woodbury and Mounds View. So we're not sure what to expect from them. One thing we can look forward to, the rushing leader for Roseville, Mike Madison, 676 yards and 7 touchdowns off of 104 carries. So he's averaging 6.5 yards a carry. That's definitely the player to watch for Roseville. Their quarterback, R.J. Wilkins, 429 yards, and his favorite receiver is Rupert Bannerman Thompson. And we're going to pause for the national anthem. All right, Adam, we're ready for some football.
Yes, we are, Kenton.
Good.
I'm ready. I don't know about you, but
I'm pretty ready.
I'm pumped about this game.
I wasn't able to do all my pregame calisthenics and stretching, but I think I'm doing pretty good.
Well, I got to my stretching. I didn't get through my arms. I got most of my leg stretches done.
That's, that's what's important.
And now for the introduction of the starting lineups. First of all,
well, both these teams have extremely good running backs. Ben Gulsvig of Centennial, he'll be the main rusher for Centennial. 649 yards and 8 touchdowns. He has come on late. 7 out of his 8 touchdowns have come in the last 4 games. He has definitely caught on fire for the Cougars. And Mike Madison, their leading rusher, actually with 676 yards. So 2 very comparable rushers as far as numbers are concerned.
So are we expecting a very evenly matched game tonight, or?
It's tough to say, Adam. I would expect a very good matchup. Even with this kind of slide that Roseville's taken in the last 2 games, I still think they'll fare pretty well.
It's a nice night for football, though, isn't it?
It is nice. We'll take a look at the defensive starters for Roseville as they are announced. On the defensive line, we have Zach Jeffrey at defensive end. He's a junior. And we also have Ryan Dunbar. He's one of the team captains. And Dan Began also on the defensive line. Or excuse me, he's a defensive back. Linebackers for Roseville, Eric Lensing, he's a senior. Michael Madison, also the running back. He is a senior. They have 5 linebackers listed. I don't think they all play linebacker. Will Brown, number 51, is a junior. 55, Dan Johnson is a junior. 59, Dan Klepeda, he's a junior. And the defensive backs, Jeff Beck, number 16, is a senior. Dan Began, 24, and he's a junior. And Jim Markwart is a junior free safety. The offensive, I think they're doing defensive starters as well for Centennial. Why don't you take us through the starting lineup for Centennial?
Starting lineup for defense for Centennial is Roy Johnson, number 65, Nick Weinhold, number 53, Jesse Gobel, number 32, Luke Malinowski, is 44. Bobby Hansen, 36. Eric Maxwell is number 40. Nick LeClaire, 29. Nick Belts, number 4. Jake Winke is 26. Steve Gurton is 18. And Ryan Hennis is 89.
What? And there's the defensive backs. Ryan Hennis got a lot of speed. Jake Winke on the other side. Steve Gurton at free safety, and Eric Maxwell, the other linebacker. They play 4 linebacker setup and 1 safety.
The officials this evening and referee Paul Nesvig, umpire David Robinson, head linesman Jeff Johnson, line judge Steve Bullard, and back judge Rick DeGarner.
Taking a look at the Centennial offense, a great offensive line. They have progressed throughout the entire year. Tim Hart, left tackle. Nick Weinhold, left guard. James Wykor, the center. Blake Herrick at the right guard. Ryan Laube, right tackle. And Kyle Rogers at the tight end. Skill positions for the Cougars. Guy Lucia, quarterback. He has Ben Goldsvig at tailback. Brian Burns at the fullback. Split end, Jason Vanzelo's got a lot of speed. And Dwayne Koski at the wing-back position also has some speed. Well, Jason Vanzelo started off the year pretty well. He had a touchdown in the first game, has not gotten a touchdown since then, but he does lead the team in receptions and receiving yards. Number 9, Jason Vanzelo, has 21 catches, 260 yards, and a touchdown, averaging 12.4. And on the other side, the leading receiver, Rupert Bannerman Thompson, 181 yards, but he does not have a receiving touchdown. So both quarterbacks' favorite receivers haven't found the end zone all that often, but they are successful in the passing game. We're set to kick off. Roseville will be kicking off. Number 6, Chisholm Kafunzil. And Ben Goldsvig back to receive for the Cougars. Kick is short. It'll be taken about the 30-yard line, and he takes a knee. So opting not to return that one was number 34.
Kickoff taken and down by Tim Matheson.
Tim Matheson. So Centennial will start 1st and 10 on their own 29-yard line.
Hopefully this will be the start of a very good game.
That's what we all expect. Pitch is to Goldsvig, takes it between left tackle. He gains a couple and he's wrapped up.
Ben Goldsvig, the ball carrier. Stopped in the play by Will Brown, number 51.
Will Brown making the stop for Roseville. That'll bring up 2nd and 7. So Centennial wanting to get the rushing game going. Passing game faltering a little bit as of late, but the running game still going strong. And the handoff again to Goldsvig. He's wrapped up again. Roseville doing a good job plugging up the offensive line, not allowing Goldsvig to break into the backfield.
I think he's having trouble trying to find a hole so far. Roseville's been doing a pretty good job.
Roseville defensive line, got to give them credit. They've plugged the first 2 runs for the Cougars. Play action, Lucia rolling out. He has a man, and that's number 45. Jeff Stomberg with the catch.
Finally, the Cougars just decided why not pass it.
So on a 3rd and 7, they connect with Stomberg. And he's had 2 catches for 23 yards this season, so that's catch number 3 for Stomberg. The handoff to Goldsvig. That time he finds some room to run, and he picks up about 5 yards out to midfield.
Good way to just run along the side right there.
Gain of 5 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 5.
So bring it to 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5 for the Cougars, just across midfield, starting to move the ball. Ben Golzvig wrapped up after a gain of 1. So to bring up another key 3rd down for the Cougars. Another passing down, it looks like, as it's 3rd and 4. I think it's going to be key for Cenntenial to get the running game going and then definitely involve the pass. And they're going to want to control the ball against this Roseville team.
I think they'll run as many times as possible, try and
Bring
not
a
risk
tight
an
formation.
interception.
I think you're right. Golzvig wrapped up. He's going to be 3 yards short of the 1st down. And that'll bring up 4th and 4. We'll give him 1. It'll be 4th and a long 3. So Roseville coming up big on 3rd down on defense, and they'll get the ball back. And standing on his own 15-yard line back to return is number 45, Jim Warcourt. Lucia punting the ball.
Strong kick.
Mark Wart will let it take a bounce. He'll field it and evading a couple tacklers, trying to spin out, but finally wrapped up by a large mass of red jerseys. And he'll be brought down after about a 5-yard punt return out to the 15-yard line. Well, standings in the North Suburban, Cougars finished in the middle of the pack. Katina Grace taking the North Suburban Conference outright, 7-0. Spring Lake Park, they're at 4-3 in conference, and Cenntenial also 4-3 in conference, 4-4 overall. So Cenntenial
Pretty even record.
was picked to be near the bottom of the conference, not returning very many starters, actually only 2. But they turned things around after those first 2 games, and they find themselves with a home game in the first round of playoffs, which most people wouldn't have thought in this section. So Larson, the ball carrier, he'll pick up 2.
Get ready for a 126 on that, okay? Are we better off a red and black just going straight up at them? Can we handle 60?
Offensive coordinator Mike Diggins in the offensive huddle giving directions. Option and the keeper, and that's
number 9, Dennis Jones, I believe.
That's Chris Johnson, number 8.
Oh.
And I didn't have him as the starting quarterback. And it looks like he's coming out of the game. He just came in for the option. So rotating in quarterbacks are the Raiders. Let me get that grammatically correct.
Right now I think Roseville is just going to try and run it up as slowly as possible. Not take any risks here, being so far back.
So I believe that was a gain of 13 and a 1st down. So they have a 2-back, 2 tight end formation. The give is to number 5. He's got some room, Peter Larson, and he'll pick up a gain of 15 out to the 45. So Roseville running the ball 3 times. They've moved the ball 30 yards on 3 plays. Here's another look at it. The give to Larson, breaks a tackle, gets a nice hole, finally brought down by Nick Belts. Larson on the year. He's their 2nd leading rusher. 383 yards on the ground. And the give is to I believe number 23, Andy Frazier. He'll pick up 1. And again, rotating the quarterback out. That was the running quarterback, and coming in for the passing quarterback is Matt Martin. Wilkins back to throw. He's got a man. He's wrapped up and tackled on the far side.
It was a good play by Cenntenial there.
That was number 80 on the catch, Chris McDonald. That'll be a gain of 6. We'll bring up 3rd and 3. Here's another look at this one, Adam. Just a straight drop. Throws the hitch. Threw a little bit high, but nice throw and catch, and they pick up the 6-yard 6 yards on the 6-yard hitch.
Good play by both teams there.
That's
See,
what
Roseville just made it quick, and Cenntenial made it quick as well, you know.
You make that quick throw with the cornerback playing off, you get at least 6. If you can make a move and get upfield, all the better. Roseville calling for time, don't like the looks of things. And they'll have a conversation on the sideline with the head coach, Chris Simdorn. Well, so far, take a look at the comparison on the year. Passing yards, Cenntenial has the edge, 671 to 458. Both teams definitely like to run the ball, extremely close and rushing, 1462 for Cenntenial and 1411 for Roseville. But Cenntenial getting on the board a lot more, 149 points, in Roseville, the lowest scoring team in their conference at 73 points.
Seems right now Roseville has the edge a little bit over Cenntenial. Even though they're away right now, it seems their defense is doing really well, and so is their offense so far.
Their defense came up with a big play on a 3rd and 4. They got the ball to their offense. They started moving pretty smoothly up the field. They've crossed midfield, and now we're at a key 3rd down here. This is one of those junctions that can turn momentum. If Roseville gets the 1st down, they continue on their drive. If Cenntenial can get force Roseville to punt, they'll get the ball in fairly decent field position. And this is still a punting location until they get to the 35-yard line. So they have twins to the near side. And the handoff, and wrapped up just shy of the 1st down. That was number 29 on the stop for Cenntenial. Nick LeClaire.
Big stuff right there. It's really got to help Centennial's morality.
That was Madison on the run. He'll pick up 2, but he will be shy. So it's 4th and short, and it's decision time for Roseville. You're at the other team's 46-yard line. And coming in is Matt Martin, their running quarterback, if I may be so bold to call him that. Well, they've been playing 3 quarterbacks. That's the confusing part, Adam. They have Martin, Johnson, and Wilkins. And the give is, I believe, to Michael Madison, and he has more than enough for the 1st down, picking up a gain of 5. So Roseville on a big 4th and short picks up the 1st down.
Seems they did what Cenntenial couldn't.
So credit Roseville and their offensive line.
If they keep it like this, moving slowly down the field, you know, maybe passing the ball every once in a while, seems that they'll play a steady game.
Keeping their offense on the field right now. Under 5 minutes to play in the 1st quarter. The give is to number 23, Andy Frazier, and looks like he's fairly close on the 1st down, a gain of 9 on the run. So we'll give him an 8-yard run. It'll be 2nd and 2. Coming in for Roseville is Yazid Britt and Matt Martin, still rotating quarterbacks. But I don't think we've seen their leading passer, RJ Wilkins, number 1. A 2-tight formation, and they give to number 5, Peter Larson. And he's wrapped up near the 1st down marker. Looks like he's just across the chains, and he is. So a gain of 2 and a 1st down.
Centennials realize that they're going to keep doing this, so they're starting to shape up a little bit on the defense end.
And looking at the numbers, the 2 that stand out for Roseville are R.J. Wilkins, the quarterback, and Mike Madison, the running back. And so far, we've seen hardly any of them. Doing a good job rotating in their quarterbacks and running backs, mixing things up against this Cougar defense. This time the give is to number 23, Andy Frazier, and again, picking up about 6 yards. Roseville, they don't have to pass. They've been doing a great job on the ground thus far.
They have.
And if they pace this out correctly, they can wind out the entire 1st quarter before they get a score. Cougar defense is reaching the break point in the bend but don't break defense. Roseville very close to breaking them on their first drive. Official timeout. And the teams will re-huddle. I think maybe you just wanted to enjoy the ambiance for a moment. Take in all that the section playoffs have to offer.
I believe so.
You can't blame them. It's a great atmosphere out here. Roseville still in the drive. 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter, 2nd and 4. This give is to number 5, Peter Larson, and wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, I believe, by Bobby Hansen, and you're going to see that number a lot. Number 36, outside linebacker Bobby Hansen, one of the 2 returning starters for the Cougars, and he's just everywhere. In the games we've covered, we've seen him make incredible plays on the pass and hitting the quarterback, making some big-time tackles in the backfield on key third downs. So Bobby Hansen is who we're looking for in the Centennial defense right now to make some plays. On 3rd down, they pitched the ball and wrapped up, and there you go, Bobby Hansen, what'd I tell you? Right in the backfield, no chance.
I think they're going to want to bring R.J. Wilkins in now for a little bit. Maybe try passing the ball.
So that'll be a loss of 6. Bobby Hansen, 5'10", senior linebacker. You're going to want to put a body on him.
He knows what he's doing.
So a 4th and 10, Roseville's going for it on Centennial's 30-yard line. They have twins to the far side. Rolling out is Matt Martin. He'll dump off the screen and close to a first down, and he might be a little bit short. That was number 5, Peter Larson, picking up about 8 yards on the pass. So they throw the screen. He's got some blockers out there. Larson trying to turn up the field.
He was running pretty fast. Seems like he.
Nick LeClaire coming over to make the nice open field tackle, and the Cougars will get the ball. Gives to Brian Burns, and he'll spin about the line of scrimmage, and he'll pick up about 2 yards. Maybe 3 yards on the run.
Making it 2nd and 8.
About a minute left in the first quarter here. Still no score.
Play action. Again, same play. Jeff Stomberg again, another big first down, and taking out a guy on the sideline.
Well, the running was working for Roseville. It seems the passing is going pretty well for Centennial here.
So Roseville bringing up the guys to stop the run. Play action. That's what they called for. Jeff Stomberg,
nice
wide open, makes
pass.
the catch, turns it upfield. So a 20-yard pass from Lucia to Stomberg. And Gulsvik again wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. They'll give him 1 yard on the carry.
We're at 2nd and 10 again.
So we might see one more play here in the first quarter if it's a run. So play action again. Trying to evade the defense. He'll throw it away. Throw it upfield, and coming back for that one was Jason Vanzelo. He almost had a play on it, but throwing a little bit out of bounds. He almost could have connected with Vanzelo there.
Good move, though. I don't want to get tackled in that situation when you're looking for, I don't know what I'm trying to say here.
I know what you're trying to say. Lucia rolling out. You definitely don't want to get a turnover there. The defense closing in. And throw it towards out of bounds. If you can make a play on it, great. If you can't, no big deal. You got third down. You still have possession of the ball.
Exactly.
If I may put words in your mouth. So now 3rd and 9. This will be the last play of the quarter. And it's a wingback reverse to Gulsvig. And he'll be wrapped up right at midfield, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. A 4-yard pickup for Gulsvig. So we are scoreless. The name of the game has been defense. Both teams keeping the ball on the ground. Neither team able to score in the first quarter. And we take the first quarter break. Both teams tied at 0. Taking a look at first quarter numbers. 7 rushes for 15 yards for Gulsvig. Not really getting things going. On the other side, Roseville. Peter Larson, 4 rushes for 20 yards. Chris Johnson, 1 rush for 1 yard. Andy Frazier, 3 rushes for 15 yards. And Michael Madison, 3 rushes for 1 yard. He was tackled for a 5-yard loss when Bobby Hansen came in. So Roseville spreading things around. They have 4 different rushers so far and 2 different passers. So interesting crowd on hand here at Cenntenial. We don't need to see that. No one needs to see that, Adam. You know what I'm saying?
Got some wild fans down there on the Cenntenial side. But we do want to see that, the Cenntenial mascot.
Yeah, the Cougars getting involved in the stands there. He's a very personable cat. You know what I'm saying? Guy Lucia on a punt on 4th and 5. He gets off a nice punt and taking that one at the 16.
Goes right for his legs. Nice play.
I believe that was Jeff Beck. And a nice tackle by Jesse Goebel, number 32. He plays on the defensive line. We saw he had a blocked field goal attempt earlier on in the year. Take a look at the standings in the Suburban East, a very tough conference. Stillwater, 6-1 in conference. They won the conference outright. White Bear Lake, 5-2, 6-2 overall. Hastings, Forest Lake, both 4-3 in conference. Moundsview, 4-3. Roseville at 3-4. And Woodbury and Park, Cottage Grove near the bottom. A very tough conference, very, very evenly matched conference. And running that one for a first down was number 17, picking up about 12 yards. That's Michael Madison, who we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, is their leading rusher.
Also a captain of the team.
He is one of the captains along with Ryan Dunbar. Co-captains, one on offense, one on defense. Well, I think they both play both ways, so technically 2 on offense, 2 on defense, 2 captains.
Yes, not 4.
2 guys, just like Adam and me, just 2 simple guys. On the bootleg rollout, he waggles out the pass attempt by Matt Martin, number 7, goes incomplete. He's trying to hook up with, I believe, Joe Rice.
Passing game seems to be going a little bit more well with Cenntenial than Roseville right now, at least from what I've seen in the first quarter.
That, I think, was the first pass. No, they've had 1 screen pass.
Yeah.
So that's their second pass. Cenntenial on their side, 2 completions for 29 yards. Guy Lucia, both of them to Jeff Stomberg on play action. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10. And the give is to number 23, Andy Frazier. He's wrapped up after about a 3-yard gain. So it looks like it's going to be a war of attrition in this game, Adam. Who can hold out longer?
Yeah, whoever gets a touchdown first, I think, should be pretty much set. You know, once you get that touchdown, you try so much more harder to, keep it the way it is. So until we see a score, we're probably just going to see them grinding it out on the ground for the first half here. Yeah, I'm expecting a pretty low scoring game here.
Back to pass was Martin. His pass incomplete. Joe Perizzo trying to make a play on it. He does have at least one interception this year that I know of.
That would have been a big play for Centennial.
But as it stands, it's still a good defensive stand as Roseville now forced to punt on 4th and 7. Justin Ritchie will be the deep man along with Jeff Stomberg for the Cougars. So Jim Markwart back to punt. He's the punter and punt returner. Almost blocked. That was Bobby Hansen coming in. Justin Ritchie falls down, and that's going to take a Roseville Raider bounce. A very nice Raider roll. Raider roll.
That's going to be a big hit for Centennial. Starting out so far back.
That'll be a 40-yard punt for Markwart.
If Centennial can get some passing going on, maybe they can make it all the way up to the field goal, but I'm not sure if they'll be able to make a touchdown off of this.
So that punt's going over 40 yards with the roll. And Cougars will start 1st and 10 on their own, inside their own 15-yard line. They have a tight formation in. 3 backs, 2 tight ends. Play action, and they're looking for Brian Burns. They have him out in the flat and able to turn it up for a couple of yards and near the first down. And it looks like it'll be a gain of 8. Here's another look at it. Lucia selling the play fake. Brian Burns. And he's able to get yards after the hit. Brian Burns, very strong and fast fullback for the Cougars. We saw earlier in the year, I believe, a 176-yard game rushing. He also had 20 yards receiving in that game. He had a touchdown rushing and receiving. Golsvig busting through the line.
That'll be a first down for Centennial. Here's the replay.
Here's another look. Golsvig
jumps right into the fire there. Seems to escape.
Through. Greasing up the jersey with something. So the handoff, this time going to Brian Burns. He'll pick up 4.
Now we're at 2nd and 7. Excuse me, 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6, Jason Vanslow will come in. And we're anticipating updates on scores from the Spring Lake Park game and the White Bear Lake game. Golsvig in motion on the wingback reverse. He's got speed, takes the outside, breaking tackles out near the first down. So that'll be about a gain of 5.
3rd and 1. Very good position to be in right now for Centennial.
3rd and short's much better than 3rd and long, especially with both these two teams. They like to run the ball, especially Roseville tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And that's close to a first down. I believe that was Jesse Goebel on the carry. Nope, it's Brian Burns. And he's got just enough for the first down. So we have an update in the White Bear Lake Arlington game, Adam. What's the score?
White Bear Lake so far right now in the first quarter, White Bear Lake has 21 points and their opponent 0.
So St. Paul Arlington off to a rough start. That's the number 1 seed White Bear Lake versus number 8 seed Arlington. So no big surprise there. White Bear Lake off to a quick 21-0 lead. Play action.
Very much different from this game.
Lucia, throwing no one there. as his receiver, Jeff Stomberg, fell down trying to go to the well too often. And 3 Raider defenders there. And that incomplete pass will bring up 2nd and 10. So Lucia so far in this first half, 3 of 5 passing, 37 yards.
I'd say he's doing pretty well so far.
He's doing pretty good. With the exception of that last pass, he's been pretty accurate. He sold the play action, and Roseville's bought it. And they mix it in with the running game so far. Another wingback reverse. Gulsvig turned it inside the tackle. And he'll pick up 3 yards. So Gulsvig undoubtedly will be the workhorse in this one, as their other tailback, Matt Blumlander, got hurt earlier in the year. He hurt his foot. He'll still be doing kicking duties, but he won't be playing tailback. So Gulsvig getting the bulk of the carries, 10 rushes, 32 yards thus far.
He's a 5'7", 160-pound senior.
I don't know if he's 5'7", but that's what it's listed. Guy Lucia the throw, and completed to Jason Vanslow, and he'll make a lot of great catches for you. And there's another one right there, catch number 22 for Jason Vanslow in the year. Here's a look at it, Lucia rolling out, on the run throws, and he put it where the defense wasn't, and Jason Vanslow making a nice play. It'll be a gain of 10 and a first down. So the Cougars are across midfield. Pitch to Gulsvig in the defense.
Looking for somewhere to go, but he didn't find anything, and was tackled right on the line of scrimmage.
Safe enough, that one was Will Brown, assisted by Michael Madison on the tackle.
Excuse me, loss of 5.
You don't want a loss of 5 running the ball. So now 2nd and 15. Cougars moving in the wrong direction. Lucia, another play action. He's going deep to Jason Vanslow, blowing past the defense just a little bit too far, as he had just burned the DB. I believe that was Jeff Beck.
This puts Cenntenial in a tough position right now.
So going for the big play for the home run there on 2nd and 15, as Jason Vanslow, when that ball was thrown, was not beyond the defense, but he sped up, put it into a higher gear, and just blew past the defensive back. Almost made a play on that. But the incomplete pass will bring up 3rd and 15 passing situation, and it's picked off.
Interception by number 10, that is Eric Renzing. Great play for Roseville. Maybe the turn of the tide here. As you can see from the replay, Lucia throwing, looking for number 45. That would be...
They've thrown right at the defense. That's been a problem for the Cougars, is turnovers and interceptions, and that's interception number 9 on the year for Guy Lucia. So averaging 1 per game. That was something that you want to limit in the playoffs, and I'm sure the Cougars were looking for limited turnovers as well. Rolling out is Chris Johnson, and he's going to be hit for a big loss.
Strong play from Cenntenial right there.
Nick LeClaire. And I believe Jesse Goebel is also there. You see Chris Johnson rolling out. And both Goebel and LeClaire there to make their greetings, and that's a loss of 8 for Chris Johnson.
I don't know if I'd like to be that guy that just got tackled. 2-on-1.
Yeah, those aren't good odds.
No.
So back to pass now is Matt Martin. He'll throw the screen, almost picked off as that one went off his shoulder, having to come across. That was Luke Lasecki, the tight end. They were trying to set up the tight end screen. And you got to make a better throw than this on a screen. Matt Martin throwing it, Goebel almost being a piece of it, a little up. I don't know why he jumped for that. Just got to put your hands up and make the play. He jumped up and it hit his shoulder, so as much Martin's responsibility as that also falls on Lasecki's shoulders. Pardon the pun. So incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 18 for Roseville.
Looks like they're going to have to pull out a very big play.
Another play action, and he throws, trying to avoid the defense. He's going deep and overthrows his receiver.
Looks like a repeat of the last Centennial big pass play.
Couldn't hook up with Michael Madison.
We're at 4th and 18 now. No doubt that Roseville's going to punt it.
Definitely a punting situation. It wouldn't be all that smart to go for it here.
Oh, no, it wouldn't.
4th and 1, different story. 4th and 18, you got to kick the ball.
I agree totally with you, Ken.
Especially with 4:23 left to go in the first half. No score. And again, Markwart will come on to punt for Roseville. Stomberg and Ritchie back to receive the punt. It's a low line drive punt. It'll take a Roseville bounce and go towards the sideline and eventually be down by Roseville at the 28 of Centennial. So Centennial gets another crack here in the first half. Defense got them the ball back. And if you're kind of a big play football TV watcher, this would be a boring game for you. But if you're kind of the grinded out, hard defense, tough nose, run the ball kind of guy, this is your game.
Oh, yeah.
Lucia rolling out to pass. He throws to Vanzelo. He falls down, and he makes the catch. That was sick, Adam.
A catch from his knees.
I can't tell you how hard that is, especially with the defense closing in.
That was a great pass, though, by Lucia to throw it right to someone who's sitting right there on their knees, you know. You got to be pretty accurate to do that.
Jason Vanzelo, the leading receiver for the Cougars, and for good reason. And the Cougars now across midfield. They give it to Gulsvig, trying to find a hole, dancing around, and he's hit after a 2-yard rush.
But Centennial, you know, if they keep this up, it'd probably be just like the last time they had the ball, you know.
Well, here's another look at that play. Lucia rolling out, throwing to Vanzelo. Vanzelo from the ground. You can just see him beyond his teammates there on the ground. You couldn't see when he fell down, and he was just desperately trying to get up, but he just figured I'll catch it from the ground. And here's the screen. He's got Brian Burns. He's got some blockers. And
he is just hammered,
bulldozing his way towards the first down. And I believe it's past the marker. It'll be a 9-yard gain and a first down.
Centennial now making some great passing plays.
You're right, with the exception of 2 incomplete passes and interception, Lucia hooking up with the receivers for some pretty good plays.
Yes. I think he's redeemed himself.
He's, I believe, over 70 yards here in the first half. Stomberg in motion. The give is to Gulsvig. He's got nice blocking up front, and his line will push him for about a 6-yard gain.
.2:30 left in the second period. We're here 2nd and 4th with the Cougars. Trying to come up with some spare yards here. Try and get a first down and start all over again.
2:18 to go in the first half. Stomberg in motion this time to the right. Gulsvig, a huge hole, breaking tackles, and he's got room. Going to the corner, trying to make it to the end zone, standing bounds. Touchdown, Cougars!
That was a great play by Gulsvig, Kevin. He just hit the turbojets right there after he broke those tackles.
That's like a 6th gear. He stepped it up a notch after breaking some tackle attempts. Running up the gut, breaks 2 tackles, makes a move.
Look at that, just
got a block from his receiver, turned it up, and there's no one going to catch him at that point.
That gives us a 7 Centennial lead right now. Or, excuse me, 6 until they make the field goal if they do.
And Matt Voigtlander on to attempt the extra point and make it 7. It's high, it's up, and it's good. 7-0 Cougars.
That was a big play for Ben Golsvig so far in the game, just for making some short plays, but finally makes a very big play to break the tie from 0-0 to 0-7.
So a very good drive by Centennial, starting their own 28. And finished off by a nice Ben Golsvig run. I'm not sure how many yards. I think it was something like 27, but I haven't gotten the official word on that one.
Either way, it was a very good play.
Very nice play. Here's another look at that touchdown. It's hard to see what yard line they were on. I think it was around 30 yards.
Looks like we have a timeout here. Centennial calling it.
Centennial calling time. Maybe they want the ball back. Got a little confidence, momentum.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So up until that touchdown run, Ben Golsvig had 35 yards on 13 carries. Not stellar numbers, less than 3 yards per carry, but that long touchdown run, I believe, was around 30, 33 yards. Jumped up his numbers. He's now around 70 yards rushing on 14 carries. So first score, always a big momentum booster, especially when it takes a long time to get it.
That's for sure.
It means that much more. So Cougars a 7-0 lead. Minute 54 left in the half. Roseville on their own 10, 2nd and 10 to give. And a huge hit there. And another timeout by Centennial as they want the ball back. As Madison runs. And I think he was stopped by Josh Jensen along with Goebel on the stop.
Now in high school football, how many timeouts do you get?
I think it's 3 per half. Same as NFL and college. And Centennial's taken 2 of their timeouts. I think they still have 1 remaining. So if they stop them here on 3rd down, Centennial will get the ball back, timeout or not. But if Roseville gets a first down, that'll be a different story.
3rd and 7, it's not looking in their favor right now.
Well, if you're Roseville right now, you can try to pass for the first down and keep the chains moving and have control of the ball. Or you can run the ball and hope to take out a little bit of clock and just play some defense. Or if you can run the ball and get the first down, that's a win-win situation for you. We'll see what they do with 3rd and 7 here on their own 13. They have 2 wideouts. Joe Stephenson wide to the far side. And the give, and right up the gut. He's got room, and he's going. Finally brought down.
That'll definitely be a first down.
Gain. And that was Madison on the play. Here's another look at it, going right up the gut. They spread out the defense, and no one even touches him. And he's finally brought down. I don't have the number on that.
It's a good job. Found a hole and ran his heart out.
That throw thrown behind him in a nice play. That was Joe Stephenson turning his body around to make the catch, and that is not easy. And he's got an 11-yard gain and a first down, keeping the chains moving. So Centennial calling 2 timeouts, hoping to get the ball back. But Roseville turns things around. They start going up the field.
Seems once Centennial got that touchdown, Roseville just wants to fight harder now.
Now the threat is with Roseville. The give is to Larson. He's wrapped up for no gain.
It's now or never, a minute 10 left in the second.
Belton gave on the stop. So now Roseville calling for time. So Roseville continuing to run the ball. They thrown the ball a couple times. Rotating quarterbacks is the interesting thing to me. This is not something I was expecting. Matt Martin, number 7, is a junior, and Chris Johnson, number 8, he's a sophomore. And I don't even think we've seen their leading passer, R.J. Wilkins, who's a junior. Have you seen number 1 in the game?
I have not yet.
So I don't know if he has an injury or what the decision was.
Maybe they're waiting to save him as a special gift in the 3rd and 4th quarter.
Well, I know the NFL rules state if you bring in your 3rd quarterback, then you can't bring in your starter. I don't know if that exists in high school. I'm not sure. We'll have Matt Waldron looking at that one. That pass and getting there a little bit early, but no flag thrown, and that's a good thing for Centennial, as that would have been some free yards with no clock moving. But that was Jake Winke there making the defensive play, and it'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Roseville has a minute 5 to work with before this period ends.
And they're in a pretty good position here, because even if they don't get the first down, they can punt the ball. And Centennial would have to go a very long way with only 1 timeout. Now Chris Johnson. Pump fake, wrong decision as Nick Belt and Bobby Hansen blitzing from opposite sides from the outside linebacker position.
Good strategy there by the Cougar defense.
That's what you call a Raider sandwich with Cougar bread. More healthy than wheat bread. I suggest you try it.
No mayonnaise or lettuce, just meat.
Just a whole lot of Chris Johnson. So now the Cougars will call their final timeout to stop the clock. 51 seconds remain. So Roseville will punt the ball away. But to their credit, they did get the ball past midfield, and they made it a much longer field for the Cougars, and they did have a threat of possibly putting some points on the board before half.
For a little bit, yes. For a little bit there, yes, they did.
But credit to Centennial defense for stepping up and making the plays. So here we go. Mark Ward will come on to punt. Justin Ritchie, the lone return man. Jeff Stomberg is not back there. An extra blocker defender in case they fake the punt. Good snap. Mark Ward gets off a good kick. It's high. Fair catch called by Ritchie. And he could have returned that one, but opting for the fair catch was Ritchie on the 20-yard line. We have a flag. I don't know if anyone ran into the kicker because that's where it's thrown.
Maybe the referee just has bad aim.
Uh-oh. And it's running into the kicker against Centennial. And it doesn't look like it's the 15-yarder. Looks like it's a 5. And Coach Simdorn, calling for the 15-yarder and the automatic first down. I don't know if he's going to get it.
If it is a 15-yard penalty, it'll put Roseville in a very much different situation right now.
But the penalty declined. That's interesting because they could have re-kicked it, taken a little more time off the clock. But penalty declined, so the Cougars will take over 1st and 10. I think it's about 16-yard line. So 44.6 left to work with. Can't see the decimal point, but you got to trust me. It's not 446 seconds, which you're the math wizard. How many minutes would that be?
I have no idea, Kenton.
You're just humble.
Despite what you've heard, I am not a math whiz.
Let's see, 60, right to that. 7, about 7. Oh, I just had it.
Well, look at how fast it's going. I don't think it's 40, 300 seconds.
And that's going to take us to the half, as they're just going to run up the clock. They're not even going to attempt with no time
They'd
left.
have to pull a very big play out to capitalize off of this one.
So another knee, and that's going to wind us down to halftime. So Centennial behind Ben Gulsvig. His touchdown run. They lead at the half by a score of 7-0. You can look forward to some dance line action for your halftime show.
I'm looking forward to dance line.
You should. Adam and Engel and Kenton and Kip all here, along with the Cougar. It's 7. Coming up.
To be a good dad. You just need to spend time with your kids. It takes a man to be a dad.
For all your updates and highlights of your local sports teams, Blaine, Cenntenial Cougars, and Centennial, tune in to Sports Den. It's a big hit.
Sports Den, Thursday nights at 7 p.m. on North Metro 15. Beware of the den.
I don't want her to be labeled.
He's just like I was in school.
It's just a phase. You'll get over it.
Millions of kids have learning difficulties and are struggling in school. But instead of excuses, they need help. They learn differently. See how far your child can go. Visit focusonlearning.org. Do it for your child. Do it for yourself. But do it now.
Over here.
Did you know that the first person to fly faster than the speed of sound was Chuck Yeager back in 1947? No? I didn't think so.
It's fun to know history. Find curious facts from America's past at loc.gov, the Library of Congress website.
Welcome back to Centennial High School. It's halftime. Cougars leading 7-0. Update you on other scores around the metro area. Mounds View is defeating St. Paul Como 29-3 at the half. Whitebear Lake over St. Paul Arlington 35-0 at the half. So two games quickly getting out of hand in this section. Spring Lake Park over St. Michael Albertville 16-7 and Irondale over Central 14-0. Taking a look at the halftime stats in this one. Centennial evening things out, 77 yards passing, 79 yards rushing. That should be a touchdown on the rushing. And Roseville, 19 yards passing, 95 yards on the ground. A pretty even game so far in the first half, Adam.
I would say so too, Ken. So you got Centennial, which is doing a bit better on their passing, and Roseville is doing much better on their rushing. Well, not much better, but they are doing a little bit better than Centennial. Seems Lucia's been making quite a few passes. One interception in the first half, but he has been making quite a few passes.
You're right. Other than that interception, Lucia's doing a great job. First half, 6 of 9, 79 yards, and 1 interception. Throwing to 3 different receivers. Jeff Stomberg, 2 catches, 29 yards. Brian Burns, 2 catches, 17 yards. And Jason Vanslow, 2 catches for 33 yards, including that phenomenal catch he made from the ground.
And then we have Ben Gulsvig, which is he is averaging about a little over 4 yards a carry, and that's not too bad.
Does that head seem oversized to you?
Yes, it does, just a little bit, but I'm sure.
I'm thinking it's part of the costume.
Yes.
It works for him. He should keep it. There's Guy Lucia. We're going to take a look at that Ben Gulsvig touchdown, Adam.
Here it is. You see Lucia finds Gulsvig. Gulsvig finds the hole and runs about 32 yards to make the touchdown. Just kicks it into 6th gear, like Kenton said, and burns Roseville right down into the end zone.
So Gulsvig with the 33-yard score, giving Centennial a 7-0 lead. Now Centennial will kick off. 68 yards rushing in the first half, so a pretty good first half for Gulsvig. Started off a little bit slow, but has since picked things up, and now Matt Voigtlander is set to kick off for this second half. It's a high kickoff. It'll be taken at about the 10-yard line, and it's bobbled and finally brought in by Rupert Bannerman Thompson, and he breaks free. Matt Voigtlander trying to chase him down on the bad foot. Finally brought down. We have a flag on the play back at the Roseville 30-yard line, so this might come back with an illegal block.
If you're wondering who that was Rupert Bannerman, like Kenton said. Very big return right there. And holding is the penalty against Roseville. So I believe the ball will be brought back.
That'll be a major walk-off for the Cougars. Or excuse me, the Raiders. Benefit for the Cougars, as Bannerman Thompson just broke through, picking up some huge yardage. Would have had great field position, but as it stands, they'll be walking backwards towards their 20-yard line.
That's something we haven't seen in a long time.
So 1st and 10 from the 20 of Roseville.
Now Roseville is going to have to find a way to play steady here and get the ball back to the other end zone.
Pass thrown and completed. Another hitch, pitch, and catch.
That sweatshirt looks a little bit tight, Ken.
Yeah, it's because it's someone smaller than me, that'll happen.
The Diamond Nationals.
When you wear something that you're bigger than, it'll be tight on you. So a face mask against Centennial looks like a 5-yard face mask, but it'll be a first down for Roseville.
It'll be a 5-yard penalty.
You know that uncomfortable feeling when you're wearing like pants or a shirt, it's too tight on you, you just can't.
You can't stay still.
Yeah, it's just like something's
You have to
not
keep moving. I understand.
All right.
You're not doing a new dance. You're just uncomfortable. While Kenton's busy fixing his sweatshirt problem, we have the Roseville, Raiders. Second and 8 right now.
You were right, it's the Roseville Raiders.
Yes, Roseville Raiders.
It is not Alexandria Ramsey Raiders, as we've had that problem years ago. But we're over that now. It's the Roseville Raiders. It's 2nd and 6. Roseville on the 35, their own 35. And they give us to Larson. He busts through the line again and a huge run past midfield.
They pick up the first down.
They'll pick up about 17 yards on that run. So Peter Larson having a pretty good game. It was 37 yards on 6 carries for Peter Larson. So another big first down for Roseville. Time wrapped up. They'll gain a couple. Probably about 3-yard gain on the play for Andy Frazier. Roseville continuing to rotate the ball carrier and the quarterback for that matter.
2nd and 7 for the Raiders with just about 10 minutes. When we ended the first half, Roseville was in somewhat of the same situation here.
It's hard work not having a utility and being the handheld operator. And a huge hit brought down in the backfield. Jesse Goebel busting through the line, making the play on Larson for a loss of 1. So 3rd and long for the Raiders. Another key 3rd down. Centennial defense doing a pretty good job so far tonight, stopping Roseville on 3rd. And rolling out is Chris Johnson, throwing deep downfield, and he cannot connect with Luke Lasecki as tight end, as Joe Perizzo was out there. And Perizzo's got some speed. We saw in the Spring Lake Park game, I believe it was Neil Stenstrom was taking a kick return. He broke free, he's going up the sideline all alone. Ryan Hinnis comes from the opposite side of the field, runs him down, and ended up being a very good stop as Spring Lake Park, I don't believe, scored a touchdown on that drive, so Ryan Hinnis, a touchdown saving tackle. He's got some wheels.
The reason why Centennial is here in the section playoffs.
You're right. Another defensive stop for Centennial will be another 4th down. And again, Mark Ward on to punt. Bobby Hansen. And that's going to be another running into the kicker. Almost blocking it and just getting a piece of the punter's foot. That'll be at least 5 yards. And that's the 2nd time they've received that penalty here. So we're going to try to sort things out here as the refs talk things over. A little conversion. Good hand. Good crowd on hand.
Very good crowd.
Checking out the Cougars playoff run. Last year, playoffs ended to a lot of Cougar fans prematurely at White Bear Lake last year, and I'm sure they would love to run into them again in the semifinals this year. So far, White Bear Lake moving smoothly in their game against St. Paul Arlington, 35-0 at the half. The other section games has Mounds View leading St. Paul Como at the half, 29-3, and Irondale is leading Central by a score of 14-0. Other North Metro scores: Spring Lake Park in Section 4, 4A is leading St. Michael Eberville 16-7. We'll also have that game for you on North Metro 15. Jeff Dinsmore out at Spring Lake Park. So looks like we're gonna take a 5-yard penalty and possibly re-kick this one. 5-yard penalty, it's declined. So I'm kind of confused after all that.
I have no idea.
He gave the decline signal, but they're taking the 5 yards, so I don't know. That's pretty confusing to me. They had to have taken the penalty if the ball's at the 40-yard line.
A lot of commotion from both lines.
So now Roseville's going to go for it. So if Centennial's defense comes up big, it's a benefit for them. Otherwise, this penalty is a huge benefit to Roseville, getting another crack at this.
They've got 3 yards to go. Can they do it?
And they give this to Larson, and he's wrapped up, but his second effort gets across the 1st down marker. A 5-yard gain for Larson on the run.
What a way to come through for your team right there.
So that penalty definitely hurting Centennial.
Very much so.
As the Raiders, not Roto River, keep possession. And Johnson wrapped up for a gain of a couple.
Seems like Grant Walters has a little bit of a limp there.
It's a war in the trenches, Adam. It's a war down there, and usually whoever wins the battle at the line of scrimmage on the offensive and defensive line generally ends up winning the game. So far, it's a pretty even battle. Back to pass, throw, and he connects with his receiver, Yazid Britt. Matt Martin to Yazid Britt. And that'll go for a gain of 5. We'll bring up 3rd and 3.
Roseville nearing the end zone.
So it looks like we have one of the news crews out here getting footage of the game. Possibly for Prep Sports Extra. Timeout Roseville, and that's their first timeout of the second half. They might need those later, so.
Well, they did come in handy at the end of the second half. So I wouldn't be surprised if they came in handy at the end of, first half. I'm sorry.
I was wondering where you're going with that
yes.
one. I kind of knew what you meant, though.
Yes.
I was just letting you hang out to dry. I got to apologize for that one.
No, that's no problem.
I was waiting to see where it
What I
ended.
meant was Centennial used their timeouts very good in the end of the first half.
Yep, they didn't.
They did need them.
They didn't need to burn any on in the first quarter. They were able to use them in the second half, and neither team able to get the ball down the field and score using them, but they were able to use them for the correct purposes. And now Wiper Lake having to burn one of theirs here in the third quarter. And it'll definitely be a waste if they don't get the first down.
It might be bad news Bears.
Could be. Could be.
Yeah. Except they're not the Bears, they're the Raiders.
You're right. But a good movie nonetheless. Wow, moving early, and that's going to be a penalty against the Raiders, as we have 2 flags coming out, and at least one of them is going to be a false start on Andy Fraser. So illegal motion. They had a man, the wing back, Fraser, moved early. And I think they're discussing another penalty as there was a flag thrown in the backfield as well. Or 3, also one on the near sideline. The line judge. Could have all been for the same play, that's possible.
Yes.
It'll be a 5-yard illegal procedure. Illegal motion. So penalties not affecting Roseville too much in this game, although some critical penalties against Centennial running to the kicker, running to the punter, that has kept this drive alive. So here we go. Now 3rd and 8. They fake the pitch, and the give on the wingback reverse is Madison, and he's wrapped up after a gain of
about 2 yards, I'd say.
About 2 or 3 yards. And they'll bring up 4th down now for the Raiders. And I got to think they're going to go for it again here, down near the Cougar 31-yard line. So it's another pivotal moment for the Cougar defense. They can get the ball back here with decent field position if they can come up with a stop here. Roseville, 2 wideouts to the far side. Frazier and Madison in the backfield, back to pass. The throw by Martin, and he's got a receiver, makes the catch. Perizzo makes the hit, but not until after the first down made by Joe Stephenson.
Another good 4th down play by Roseville Raiders. We saw this before. We see it again right here.
Yep, running the hitch again. That one going for a gain of 8. Martin to Stephenson. The Raiders keep the drive alive inside the Cougar 20-yard line, or on their 22, excuse me. And they'll be wrapped up around the line of scrimmage there. By Nick LeClaire.
We have number 7 coming in for the Raiders, which is Matt Martin.
Keep on continuing the rotation of the quarterbacks between Matt Martin, number 7, and Chris Johnson, number 8. And Martin pitches to Madison, and breaking to the outside, gaining a couple yards, but he'll be tackled at the 15-yard line.
Slowly making their way up.
Continuing to gain positive yardage. And that one will actually go for a gain of 5.
Which brings us to 3rd and 3.
So Roseville still in a running situation here on 3rd and 3, unless they choose to pass. which they've been having so much success grinding it on the ground. They probably won't need to.
If they don't make it here, I'm sure they'll go for the field goal.
Larson to give. Cutting through, and he's got enough for the first down out to the Cougar 10-yard line, a gain of 4. So Roseville, from a successful drive here, knocking on the door, and it'll be first and goal for the Raiders as the Roseville fans finally making some noise on the other side over there.
A goal could be soon in the future for Roseville.
They got the full 10 yards to go to the end zone now on first and goal. And I think we have an equipment timeout. Number 7 having a problem with his helmet. That's Matt Martin, their quarterback. He's got a pretty dirty jersey there. You know he's been involved in some football. Oh, that's Mike Madison. Sorry, he looked like number 7. That is Michael Madison, their leading rusher on the year.
Captain as well, so.
676 yards on the ground, 34 yards receiving. So here we go now, first and goal. The give is to Madison. He's wrapped up in the backfield. Nice stop there. That was, again, Jesse Goebel, the defensive tackle, coming in to make the nice stop. The 1-yard loss, or 2-yard loss. So now second goal to 12, and I'm sure the Cougars would like to do what Spring Lake Park did last Friday against Cambridge. Cambridge had first and goal in the 7, and then second and goal in the 6. And then from there they went backwards. The next 2 plays, they ended up 4th and goal from the 40.
4th and goal from the 40.
And Chris Johnson dancing around, breaking an ankle tackle, and he's finally wrapped up by Belts after dancing around. And I don't think he'll get any gain on the play, but avoiding the loss.
A very pivotal 3rd down again. Roseville has about 2 options right now. I'm pretty sure they're going to run it on this play. They don't want to risk anything this far down on the field, but you know, if they do not get the first down here, though, I'm pretty sure they'll go for the field goal.
And Martin's rolling out, looking to throw, and throwing to the far side, and he was pressured.
That'd be great defense.
Roy Johnson coming in to pressure the quarterback, forcing the errant throw, and it'll be 4th and goal. And with 1:33 left in the quarter, brings up the dilemma. Do you kick the field goal? Do you put points on the board? And it looks like they're bringing the kicker in. The kicker is number 6, Chisholm Kafunzile. But it's not the number he has on his jersey. The kick is blocked. It is going to be no good, wide left. So the Cougars, big defensive stop after Roseville gets first and goal in the 10. Cougars defense comes up with 3 big plays. They attempt the field goal, it's blocked. Cougars still lead 7-0.
All their hopes and dreams killed in 1 instant.
Well, they still have a hope in this game. It's only 7 points away, but a huge stop for the Cenntenial
Well, you know
defense.
what I mean.
I know what you mean, Adam.
Now it will be Centennial's ball.
So Cenntenial can't get too comfortable yet. Still only a 7-point game. Ben Goldsvig on the carry. He'll pick up 6. And Adam, believe it or not, I believe this is the Cougars' first possession of the half.
I think it is too.
That last drive by the Raiders, almost 11 minutes long.
Well, for good reason. They started at one end of
Goldsvig busting through. He's got speed, and he's got game breaker material. That one going for, I believe, 15 yards.
Goldsvig still averaging a little more than 4 yards a carry, I believe.
He's over 4 yards a carry now. As we take a look at this run, Goldsvig busting through the line. He averaged about 4 yards a carry in the first half, but here with the first 2 plays for the Centennial offense, 2 rushes, 21 yards. And the give again to Goldsvig, busting through. And he's a great interior runner as the Centennial offensive line, making some holes from blocking upfield, and he just squirms through the defense, and somehow, every once in a while, he just pops out the other end.
And we're nearing the end of the third quarter as we're 2nd and 10. Cougars looking to put the lead a little bit farther away. Seems we have a timeout.
Well, that's the end of the third quarter. So through 3 quarters of play, Centennial Cougars leading the Roseville Raiders by a score of 7-0. Ben Goldsvig, 17 rushes, 95 yards, and the lone touchdown. How you doing, everyone? Wave, Adam. Step up to the plate.
Hello,
Kenton
folks.
Kipp alongside Adam Engel, and Jake. Didn't catch the last name.
It's Jake Olson.
Jake Olson running some stats for us. Doing a great job. Let's take a look at those Roseville numbers. If I can do a quick tally. I know in the first half, Peter Larson had 20 yards on 5 carries. Chris Johnson had 5 yards on 2 carries. Andy Frazier had 18 yards on 4 carries. And Michael Madison had 52 yards on 7 carries. And Madison leading the way in rushing. At this point, he has 11 rushes for 59 yards. And he is the leading ball carrier for the Raiders, as they have 4 different players on the rushing board. Centennial only 2 players. As I said, Ben Goldsvig 17 for 95 and Brian Burns 3 for 9. So here we go. First play of the fourth quarter is a give to Ben Goldsvig, dancing around, hits the hole, and he'll pick up 7 yards and a first down.
Cougars' running game is still going pretty strong. I believe Roseville has a little better record on rushing yards so far, but they seem pretty evenly matched going on in the second half right now.
So now the Cougars in the drive on the Roseville 46. Fresh set of downs. The give is to, I believe, Brian Burns. And it is. So he gets his first carry of the second half. And he now has 4 rushes for 12 yards, 3 yards per carry. He's seen a little less amount of carries ever since Ben Goldsvig has come on. On the year, he has 351 yards on 76 carries. And again, going to Goldsvig. This one will go for another 4 yards. Ben Goldsvig over 100 yards on the ground for the Cougars.
$100 yards is pretty good.
100-yard game is always nice to have. Ben Goldsvig had 153 yards against Monticello in the 10th, and against Buffalo, 208 yards rushing with 3 touchdowns. And here he is, Ben Goldsvig busting it. He's going all the way to the end zone.
There it is. Another big play by Ben.
39-yard touchdown run, Ben Goldsvig.
That totals him to what, Kenton? 139 yards?
No, not exactly. It is 145 yards rushing. Let's take another look at this one. Ben Gulsvig up the gut, huge hole open up at the offensive line, and he just blows past the defensive backs. No one catches him. They just get a hand on him, and that's not going to bring Ben Gulsvig down.
3 men there.
Extra point, Matt Voigtlander makes it 14-0 Cougars. 10:07 remaining in the contest.
Couldn't ask for anything better right
You
there.
couldn't. A good drive by Cenntenial. Here's another look at the touchdown. Look at the offensive line blowing the Raiders away. Not a hand is laid on him until he runs to the linebacker. That's one hand. The diving linebacker, one hand. Free safety gets a hand. Strong safety gets a hand. You know, might as well give a round of applause as he gets a 39-yard touchdown run. I'm sure Ben Gulsvig and his family appreciates the applause from Adam Engel. I know I would. How come you never clap for me like that?
Well, you know, I've never seen you play football, Kenton. Are you an avid football player?
You were too young, right?
I was. Was your career of football in the 50s, I believe?
You really think so, Adam?
You played high school football, didn't you, Ken?
Yes, I did. Nice kickoff by Voigtlander going to the 2-yard line, and it'll be brought out by Rupert Bannerman Thompson, and again busting a hole. And Gulsvig trying to chase him down. Bannerman Thompson bringing this one back all the way.
Now you couldn't ask for anything worse.
And we saw the same thing in the Eagles-Giants game. The Giants took a go-ahead touchdown in the fourth quarter. They kicked off. Brian Westbrook took it all the way back. The Eagles won that game 14-10. That's a huge momentum shift, and you don't want that to happen, especially after a score like that, Adam.
Cenntenial calls, and Roseville answers.
A 98-yard kick return touchdown for Rupert Bannerman Thompson.
We're back to a 7 lead here, 7-point lead.
Well, we got to wait for the extra point.
Yes, I always jump the gun there, don't I?
And Yazid Britt coming on to attempt the extra point. It's a different kicker, and he gets that one up. That one's not going to be blocked unless you're Manute Bull on top of a 15-foot ladder. But the extra point makes it 14-7, and once again, Roseville within striking distance.
Now it is a 7-point lead for the Cenntenial Cougars.
So here's another look at the kick. Nice deep kick taken actually inside of his 2-yard line. And it's a return right. And he's not even touched until Matt Berlin lands a hand on him. And Gulsvig, you can't bring him down. As Rupert Bannerman Thompson using his speed and his great kick return blocking. Huge play for the Raiders, finally getting on the board, and it's the special teams getting the job done.
Run, Rupert, run. And that's what he did, folks.
He sure did.
Speaking of nice returns, Gulsvig and
good
Rupert.
investment. Oh, go ahead.
Both the key players here for rushing. You've got Gulsvig for Cenntenial, and Rupert just made a huge return right there. Excuse me, Rupert Bannerman. I'm just saying his first name.
Well, he has 2 last names.
Rupert Bannerman / Thompson.
And another score update. Wiper Lake not seeming to have too many problems against St. Paul Arlington, 41-0 after 3 quarters of play. And here comes Cenntenial on the return. Jeff Stomberg trying to find some room, but Roseville wrapping him up. Well covered by Roseville, and Cenntenial will start 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. So that takes a little bit of wind out of the Cougars' sail after that nice drive and a touchdown. You give up a long kick return touchdown like that. What does that kind of do to your psyche and your momentum right now?
Well, it shows that you know, the game isn't over yet. You still got a lot to play, and I mean, you can't expect another team to not score any points. If, you know what I mean?
No, you're right. Exactly. Just because you played a long game and, you know, points have been hard to come by doesn't mean the fourth quarter can't be full of touchdowns. Ben Gulsvig spinning away, and he has just been a great runner for the Cougars. He's small, but he has so much speed and power, and he keeps his feet moving. And he makes a lot of nice moves while the defense is trying to tackle him, and it's tough to bring him down. And that'll be a gain of 7 for Golsvig. Golsvig play action. He's throwing deep. Jason Vanzelo burns the defense, but again, just a little bit too long for Vanzelo. And that is almost the exact same play we saw in the first quarter. And the same result as Lucia, just leaving him a little bit too far as Vanzelo, obviously faster than the Raiders' defensive backs. And Cougars just had a big strike against them. They try to strike right back. Got to strike while the iron's hot. And incomplete pass will be 3rd and 3. The give to Golsvig, and he's trying to stretch it out. He's wrapped up and brought down very, very close to a first down. And it's a first down. 3-yard run for Golsvig. So a big first down for Centennial. Give us to Golsvig, and he's brought down after a gain of 2. Roseville's going to be keen on him for the rest of the game, that's for sure. Now
Golsvig sticking to him like white on rice.
That's right, Uncle Ben's rice at that. And that could happen at any minute, if you know what I'm saying. 23 rushes, 157 yards, Ben Golsvig, and 2 touchdowns.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. Exact, I'd say it'd probably be the exact opposite of shabby. It'd be very shabless. Under 8.5 to play. Brian Burns is wrapped up after about a gain of 2.
Since Roseville is sticking on Golsvig so much, Centennial may try to go for a pass or 2. Maybe try and break out of Roseville's strong defense, head towards the end zone.
Centennial unable to convert, and they also went out of bounds, so didn't take any clock out. Bring up 4th and 4.
With 7:43 left in the 4th period. Not too little time, but not that much then again.
Well, plenty of time for a team to drive up the field. Only 7 points separating these two teams right now. Lucia getting off a good punt. And right to the return man, and that's Blake. Trying to make a move. Jeff Beck, excuse me. He'll gain a couple, and the Raiders will start with good field position, 1st and 10 on their own 34-yard line. So, Adam, the defense of Centennial has done the job, with the exception of a broken play on the special teams with the kick return touchdown. The defense has kept Roseville off the board, and Roseville still hasn't scored an offensive touchdown in 3 games. They were shut out the last 2 games, and their touchdown in this game on a kick return by Rupert Bannerman Thompson. So their offense still hasn't scored in the last 3 games. Johnson. It's a keeper, and a nice run for Johnson. has momentum on the Raiders side right now. They had the last touchdown, and the defense making a good stop. Getting the offensive ball back with plenty of time.
Centennial's defense just has to keep it real and
buckle down.
Make sure to concentrate and just keep doing their job as good as they're doing right now.
Larson, the carry. He'll be wrapped up, and he'll get across the first down marker. It'll be about a 4-yard gain. Roy Johnson in the stop, but not before Larson picks up the first down. So Roseville now at their own 45, 1st and 10. 6.5 minutes left in the contest. And Johnson dancing around, and he goes up the far sideline as Luke Malinowski was trying to get up off the ground and jump over a blocker, and he got tied up as the blocker also tried to get up, so he was not able to make the play. But an 11-yard run for Johnson, another big first down for Roseville.
That's right. Roseville's just trying to make it as smooth as possible. Keep the running somewhat short, you know, try not to go for any pass.
Martin back to pass, his throw tipped and picked off! Bobby Hansen. The ball was tipped by Joe Perizzo. Bobby Hansen, Johnny on the spot there to make the interception. Centennial takes over 1st and 10 on their own 30. And Adam, that's case in point of Centennial defense coming up big when it counts.
Yeah. We've had quite a few of those plays, and this may be the turning point here for the game. Centennial may score again and put the lead a little bit farther out of Roseville's reach. Cougars ball, 1st and 10 at their 30-yard line.
So the big turnover, and that's the first turnover by Roseville. And the give is to Gulsvig again, trying to go reverse from the wingback position. Should be a gain of 5 on the carry. Bobby Hansen, what can you say about this kid? You look at the line, the height, the weight, you wouldn't think he'd be one of the defensive leaders in the conference in the metro area, but you know, beyond his size, he's one of the best defensive players in the conference, if not the metro area. Brian Burns, huge run and a first down. Burns busting through the hole with speed and power, a 7-yard run.
What the Cougars can't do right now is run the clock because there is quite a bit too much time to.
Well, they can't have a time-consuming drive keeping the ball on the ground.
Yeah, just like
Roseville took
did.
almost 11 minutes out of the third quarter. Centennial now with 5:10 to go. The pitch is to Gulsvig, and he's hit but keeps moving, and he'll pick up a nice gain.
Probably about 6 yards.
Yeah, that should be about a gain of 5.
Right.
So as long as the Cougars move the ball forward and keep it close on 2nd and 3rd downs, they should be able to keep running the ball. So 24 carries, 162 yards for Gulsvig, and of course the 2 touchdowns. Centennial with Vanzelo wide to the far side. Koski in motion, the give to Gulsvig. He stood up at the line and brought down after a gain of 1. Gulsvig got to be a little bit tired, 25 rushes on the night.
Yeah, he has been doing a lot of work for the Cenntenial Cougars so far this night. The only 2 touchdowns that they have were scored by him.
And if fatigue were to play a role in any game, it would probably be this one. I believe 3 games, and I think something like 9 days or 15 days. I think 15 days they play 3 games. So it's a possibility to get all those bangs and bruises and be a little bit tired. But Gulsvik showing none of that. Another huge run. And a gain of 21 yards on that run.
I'll be about at the 34-yard line.
Ben Gulsvik, another nice hole, busting through the line, breaking some tackles. He just grabbed the arm of the linebacker trying to tackle him. He just grabbed the wrist and threw it away. As number 45 for Roseville, Jim Markwart, tried to make the tackle. He just grabbed his arm and threw it off of him. Under 3.5 left to go in the game. It's time for the Cougars to bring in the tight B formation. And Gulsvik gets the handoff, trying to push forward. Will be stopped after about a gain of, might have gotten 3 on the play. Ben Gulsvik. Ben Gulsvik, 184 yards, 2 touchdowns. What can you say about this kid? He's phenomenal.
Well,
He's stepped up when the Cougars needed him the most, that's for sure. Ben Gulsvik inside the left tackle. He'll pick up another 4 yards.
He's very fast. He can find the holes pretty easily, you know.
Yeah, exactly. He's meshing extremely well with the Cougar offensive line. They've been doing a phenomenal job opening holes for him. Ben Gulsvik hits the hole very quick, and he keeps his feet moving inside. And even when you put a hand on him, it's not going to do enough. You're going to have to wrap him up and bring him down.
And that's even tough sometimes.
That's extremely tough. I know I probably couldn't tackle the kid unless I had, you know, a couple armed security guards with me. But it'll bring up a 3rd and 3. Coach Watson, Coach Diggins. Another Coach Watson, that's Mike Watson's son. Coach Diggins, the offensive coordinator for Cenntenial. The head coach is Mike Watson. The assistants, Nate Balzer, Mike Diggins, Matt Gross, Mark Domschott, Matt Tremmel, Jason Talusty, and Coach Mike Watson's son, Matt Watson. Done a fantastic job with the team this year, not returning a lot of experience. Won the conference, the North Suburban Conference last year, and they only returned 2 players, and they were on defense. And right now they are approaching a victory in the first round of playoffs. As that pitch goes to Gulsvik, and great blocking from the wing back and the wide receiver as Jason Vanzelo set a nice block, and Vanzelo a huge run down to the 10-yard line.
With 2:27 left, the Cougars could pretty soon here score some points. It's looking good for them right now. Very close to the end zone. As Gulsvik takes it to about the 20-yard line. Excuse me, that's 10.
So the give is to Brian Burns, and he has a nice run. About 6 yards for him. And after 3 quarters of play, Irondale is leading St. Paul Central 21-0. And Roseville will take another timeout. That's their final timeout because they wasted that one. They burned that one in the 3rd quarter.
Right in the very beginning.
So they are out of timeouts. Cenntenial now in pretty good position. They saw themselves in this very position against Buffalo. They were up by a touchdown late in the game. Driving down, they were inside Buffalo's 10-yard line. And kind of the debate there with about 2 minutes left. Do you punch the ball in for a touchdown? But then, you know, you're up 2 scores, but the other team has a lot of time. or do you try to take the time off, either keep him inside the 5-yard line, maybe attempt a field goal? They ended up going for the field goal. Matt Voigtlander made the field goal. Penalty made him re-kick it, and he missed the second kick, but the defense came up with a huge play, and they ended up winning that game 21-14. Here we go, 2nd and goal, 2nd and 4, and touchdown. Into the end zone is Brian Burns for the touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run for Brian Burns.
Seems pretty safe to say that the Cougars are probably going to come out with the victory here. They're up 2 touchdowns with about 2 minutes left. It's kind of hard for a team to score 2 touchdowns.
It is, especially against
the
Centennial defense, the way they've been playing tonight. And Matt Voigtlander will come on to attempt the 3rd extra point. Voigtlander's kick is up, and it is good. So with 1:49 left to play, Brian Burns, the touchdown run gives them a 21-7 lead.
And don't forget to visit www.northmetro15.com for all your North Metro needs.
That's right. You can check out playback schedules of the games, and you can see the headlines of the Cityscope stories, all that good stuff. And be sure to watch Sports Den Thursday nights at 7 p.m. We'll have highlights of this game along with the Spring Lake Park St. Michael Anthony game, and volleyball playoffs, and the boys soccer state tournament highlights as well. Updates on all that stuff. It's playoff time. It's crazy. SportsCen's got it all. Thursday night, 7 p.m. Re-airs Fridays, 3 a.m. and 11 a.m. Cougars set to kick off. And they will not kick to Bannerman Thompson. And the ball is still live and finally picked up at about the 30-yard line. So that'll be a benefit to the Cougars as they take it out of Bannerman Thompson's hand. There's going to look Brian Burns driving in the end zone.
Roseville, 1st and 10 at the 30. They've got quite a few yards to go. They're going to score a touchdown here, which 2 are needed to at least tie the Cougars right now.
And pass completed
to number 86, Luke Lasecki.
Yep, they've tried to get the ball to him a couple times. Once on a screen, one's coming over the middle, and one's going deep. They finally connect with Lasecki, and it's good for a 1st down. Roseville keeps the chains moving. Martin back to throw, and he will throw to the Roseville sideline. Plenty of open receivers there, but none of them are eligible to make that catch if they're not on the play. That's an important thing to keep in mind.
Another important thing to keep in mind is that the winner of this game, which is looking like to be Centennial so far, will go on to play White Bear Lake, which is looking to be them so far.
It looks
the
like
major league.
Because they're winning by 41. Ooh. A big hit coming over the middle, and that's what happens if you come over the middle, especially in the territory of Steve Girton. And the player's still down.
Going to try and get a replay here, see what commotion went on.
There's Martin back to pass, throwing the slant, and that's always a dangerous route for receiver. And threw behind him. He went up in the air, and that's tough because Steve Girton was there to make the hit, a very Brian Russell-like hit. As coming over the middle was Chris McDonald, and he took a hard hit. Right now sitting up. It's a good sign, now getting up to his feet. So we have a final score. White Bear Lake did not give up 42 points in the fourth quarter, so they do hang on to win by a score of 41-0.
Barely making it to the next round of section playoffs.
Yeah, it was a close one, but they toughed it out. Mounds View, after 3 quarters, was leading St. Paul Cumberland 29-3, so it looks like they will move on along with Irondale. Martin throwing on the run, connects with his receiver, and he gets out of bounds after making the catch. That was Rupert Bannerman Thompson, and we know how dangerous he can be.
Very dangerous.
Coming into this game, Bannerman Thompson with 181 yards receiving and a touchdown. And he's a dangerous receiver and kick returner, as we have learned tonight. Raiders across midfield on the Cougars' 45, minute 13 to play. Raiders no timeouts, they've used them all. They'll probably be working the sidelines here, down by 2 touchdowns, 21-7. Bannerman Thompson is wide to the near side. 2 backs in the backfield. Martin looking for Thompson, and he throws it, but Bobby Hansen there as Bannerman Thompson juggling that ball, and chances are you're not going to come out with the catch if you don't already have it in your hands when Bobby Hansen closes in on you.
We've seen a lot of good plays from Bobby Hansen today, that's for sure.
This play, just another simple slant. Same route that they just threw to Chris McDonald on the other side. As Cougars are definitely playing the outside of the field. Raiders looking to exploit the inside. Now 2nd and 10. Martin play action. He's going to throw over the middle, and the pass is caught by Joe Stephenson. And he is near a first down. He actually ran back a little bit, and he was brought down. So he will be shy of the first down. So that is unfortunate for Roseville as the clock keeps moving now under 50 seconds. It'll be 3rd and 1. Roseville has to go the no huddle. And they give us to Larson, and he's up the middle. Room to run, and he's finally brought down by Bobby Hansen at about the 10-yard line.
Clock will stop at 34 seconds even.
So clock will stop to move the chains. Larson with a huge run. Martin. He's back to throw. He's got a slant route and the fade route, throwing over Bobby Hansen. And could not come down with it. I believe that was Bannerman Thompson on the fade route.
No, that was
Yazid Britt. That was number 3, Yazid Britt. A good pass thrown, but Britt not able to come down with the catch. Cougar has not given up an offensive touchdown to the Raiders. And run up the gut, and that's not going to be good as they don't get the first down, and it's on the ground. The clock keeps running. I'm not sure about that play call because that could take us to the end of the game if we're not careful. Finally set to go. Martin, he's probably going to spike it. Nope, he's going for the play. Another fade route, but defense read that one well.
And that'll
be the end of the contest. So they run the ball, but it definitely hurt them there. Cougars defense, they bend but don't break. Raiders don't score. Cougars hang on. 21-7 win. A big victory in the first round for the playoffs.
Yeah, that's right. Both, actually, 2 touchdowns by Ben Golsvig. One in the first half, one in the second. Very big running plays. That's what set the Cougars ahead. And the Raiders came back to make a touchdown in the second half by Rupert Bannerman. A very long kick return. And then right here in the fourth quarter, we had a touchdown. Who was that by again, Ken?
Brian Burns.
Brian Burns for
scored. Brian Burns had 8 rushes for 22 yards and a touchdown. Guy Lucia 1 rush for 2 yards. the main man tonight, Ben Gulsvig, unofficially 29 carries, 210 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Ben Gulsvig definitely receiving the North Metro 15 Player of the Game.
There he is. As Kenton said, 210 yards out of 29 carries.
Well, the Cougars, I don't believe, threw a pass in the entire second half. So the first half numbers stayed the same. Guy Lucia, 6 of 9, 79 yards, 1 interception. Receiving Jeff Stomberg, 2 catches, 29 yards. Burns, 2 catches, 17 yards. And Jason Vanzelo, 2 catches, 33 yards. For the Cougars, a big fourth quarter. They win this game 21-7. Credit the defense to a lot of this. Ben Gulsvig being able to pound it out on the ground, helping Cougars keep ball control, keep the clock control. But Cougar defense doing a phenomenal job in this game, keeping Roseville from scoring and coming up big when it counted, as 2 times Roseville had the ball inside their 10-yard line, and neither time did they score a point.
Defense was a major part in this game. Well, it is in most games, but just like Ken said, yes.
So Centennial, their win will take them to White Bear Lake. That game will be Saturday the 25th. Mounds View on the bottom half of the bracket defeating St. Paul Como Park. They will play Irondale. That game will also be on Saturday. So all the favorites have won right down the line in the first round. Spring Lake Park, last we heard, was beating St. Michael Level over 16-7. Don't forget, we'll have highlights of this game and the Spring Lake Park game on SportsCenter Thursday nights at 7 p.m. with Kenton Kipp, Jeff Dinsmore, and Dave Washburn. So a fantastic game, Adam.
Very good game.
I think you enjoyed it, especially the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Fourth quarter was very exciting quarter.
So Centennial will get ready for Saturday's game against White Bear Lake. I know they're excited about that one. They've been wanting to play them ever since their disappointing loss to them last year on a controversial pass interference penalty, which led to a field goal for White Bear Lake. So that's what they prepare for. If they win, they'll play in the section final on Friday, the 31st. That's Halloween. But first things first, will be White Bear Lake on Saturday. Well, I'd like to thank the crew for their fantastic job tonight. I want to thank Adam Engel and Jake Olson doing a phenomenal job keeping stats. For the entire North Metro 15 crew and for Adam Engel, I'm Kenton Kipp. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Have a nice night.
61 5A schools, half of them are gone. You're still in.
Bruce and a Finnegan or Thunderbird. Beat a manic, castigated, interserve. For affiliate, spinning yellow bill is A. When Jordan Yate, Paravillain-Tinier, Paravillain-Tinier. Dorga Orpha, Dorga Billa, Dorga Orpha, Stifle-Lear, Dorga Orpha, Dorga Billa, Tornilation, Phonamir. Stop talking gibberish or just stop talking. Stop talking gibberish or just stop talking. Stop talking gibberish or just stop talking. Stop talking gibberish or just stop talking now. If I had one wish, well, I don't know what I'd wish for. But if I had a million zillion wishes, I'd choose one to let you know that gibberish is not a nice way to talk to all your Lord Swax. Ip and Ribby, if the bar, Higgy, Quilla, Burn and Grade, Duell and Char, Lurk, Kron, Zypher, Gorcha, Winsta, Braid, another word, Paravillain-Tinier, Paravillain-Tinier. Stop talking gibberish or just stop talking. Stop talking gibberish or just stop talking. Stop talking gibberish or just stop talking. Stop talking gibberish or just stop talking now. If I had one wish, well, I don't know what I'd wish for. But if I had a million zillion wishes, I'd choose one to let you know that gibberish is not a nice way to talk to all your friends.
For all your updates and highlights on your local sports teams, Blaine's Friendly Park and Centennial, tune in Sports Den. It's a big hit.
Sports Den, Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Step inside the den.